What's up, everybody? It's Richard here at Gas Monkey Garage, and I tell you what, if you've been paying attention, you know that for every dollar you spend at GasMonkeyGarage.com, you're gonna get one entry to get to come here, party with me, and take one of my cars from Monkey Trap right here in this room. And there are a lot of cars in here, and I'm gonna tell you about a few right now. Everybody knows that I am a Ford nut, and especially early Ford. So check this out. In the Ford lineup, 1936 Ford. This is an all-original, all-steel car that has lived a very pampered life. I don't believe this car was ever beat down and rusted out. I haven't found any obvious signs of rust repair or panel repair. All the gaps fit great. It's got a killer little red line on its tan exterior. Obviously, it's powered by the almighty Ford Flathead V8, which runs and purrs like a champ. These V8s are almost unbeatable. They are still running almost 100 years after they were invented, so you can't beat it. It's got all the regular gauges in it that came with the car, including a pretty rare radio. Now, the radio's not working for us, but you know, it probably will. Go to Radio Shack, get it fixed. What do you know? So this car has all original interior that has obviously, again, been redone. This car has been restored over the years. It's got the artillery wheels. This particular car came with the rumble seat option, which it could have came with the trunk, but this one has the steps on the other side. You can jump in the back, take a ride. I suggest you get a driver and a six-pack of beer and watch the world go by. Sit back here yourself. But really cool cars, these 1936s. They can be left exactly like they are. They can be left stock, or they could be just hammered low with little suspension work in the front and just give it that low, lean look. You can also go tail dragger style like they did in the 50s. You could also, if you wanted to, slam it on air ride, make these running boards touch the ground, chop the top, and lose the spare tire in the back, and you would have a pretty bitchin' hot rod. So, killer car. Very rare that one of these Roadsters come up for sale, much less for free. So, that's my 36 Roadster. Let's talk about my 34. 1934 Ford Roadster. Now, if I was picking, this would probably be in the top 5 that I was gonna pick, because these are basically unobtainium. There's something about a 34 Ford Roadster that when a gentleman or a lady gets one, they just don't want to let it go. They don't come up for sale very often. When they do, they're very expensive. I got this one about 4 years ago, and it is a great car. Lightly restored over the years, kept up to date. This one has the incredible Ford V8. It is an all-original car. This car's still pumping 12 volts, but it has been added hydraulic brakes and hydraulic clutch for ease of driving. This car is really cool in that it's all original. I have found no evidence of body panel replacement. It has been painted over the years. And again, like my 36, this one comes with the rumble seat option. This is basically a license to party. Get back here, have a cold beer, hire a responsible driver, and get after it. This is the way to do it. This car right here can be kept original and people will love it. It can be hot rodded and people will love it. It can be tail draggered and people will love it. It can be, you just basically can't do anything to this car that isn't cool other than wreck it. Don't do that. This car is what they call, I guess, green with black, my 2 favorite colors. It's got the dual horns and the fog lights up front. It's been tastefully modified over the years as far as gauges, hydraulic clutch, hydraulic brakes, etc. and so forth. This is a killer little car. I hate to see it go, but then again, you got lots of choices. So maybe this one stays in the old stable and I get to keep it for a little bit longer. Let's go see my Fords. All right, so this is truly one you could actually come here, pick this car, and drive it home no matter where you live in the United States, except for probably Hawaii. So check it out. This is a 1932 Ford, all steel, real deal car, steel fender, steel body. This car has not been chopped, but the cowl vent has been filled. It's got a small block Chevy that's redone, 3 carbs, set up with an automatic overdrive transmission. This car actually has AC. It's got a 61 Impala steering wheel. It's got a stereo system. It's got killer interior with a little bit of lumbar. This is all custom. This is a true, I guess I would say, hybrid of a hot rod, in that it has everything you need for the comfort of today's driving, but it has the look of the late 60s, early 70s. It's a killer little car. This car does not have a rumble seat like the other Fords. It does have a trunk. The car has not been modified highly, just lightly and done tastefully. Now, it's got some check marks in the paint and a few scratches from being driven. This is a weekend show car, not one you're gonna take and go try to win some trophy with. But it is a kick-ass car, and it's a 32 Ford 3-window. You can't get any cooler than that, except for when you turn the AC on. I'm telling you, this is a kick-ass car. I've had it for probably 6 years. I got it out of Florida. There's no rust. There probably has been a little bit of paint and body work done to it over the years. As far as 32 Fords go, this one's a bitchin' little car with all the modern highlights with the old style. So they don't come up for sale very often, but this one, well, I'm gonna give it away. Let's go check out some more Fords, because I got a bunch. Now, this car is affectionately called Goldie. I bet you're wondering why, right? Well, if you're wondering why, then you got a problem. But anyways, this 1932 Ford all-steel car has been in my possession now for about 4 or 5 years. Now, I chased this car for 10 years. A friend of mine, Byron, his dad and a family friend built this car, and it took them quite a few years to get it together. And I'm telling you, I think the very first time they brought it out, I was trying to buy it, and they weren't having any part of it. It was quite a few years later that I was actually able to buy the car. I've had it for probably 4 or 5. I love the car. I take it out quite often. It's one of my favorite 32s to take out because it's just perfectly done. What I really like about what Byron and his dad did was everywhere you look on this car is just perfection. Everything is where it's supposed to be. It lines up perfectly. There's no riff-raff in there. There's no bad wiring in there. The door gaps, the panel gaps, you name it, are all perfect. The paint is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I would call it flawless. This paint is unbelievable, and you should see it out in the sun. On top of that, they've got all the right gauges, period correct stuff. This is, again, what I would call a tastefully done, modernized, period correct 1932 Ford. It's not been chopped, the cowl has been filled, but other than that, it's a killer little car. I mean, even look at the detail on the trunk. Back here, we've got the same interior as inside. We've got a tasteful 50s looking cooler that houses all the battery, et cetera, and so forth. Real Pontiac taillights, not reproductions. And I mean, just look at the detail. If you look right here, it's unbelievable. Just everything about this car is perfect. That's why I chased it for so long. It's a killer deal. This is a car that you're going to want to win. So get out there, gasmonkeygarage.com, but I got more Fords to show you. Check out this next one. 1932 Ford Roadster, something I always aspired to have. When I bought this hood ornament at a swap meet, I hadn't even thought of Gas Monkey Garage yet, and this was like 22 years ago. And I put it on my shelf and I said, one day I'm gonna put that on the radiator of my 1932 Ford Roadster, and boom, here it is. This car is super trick. I saw one like it for sale on the old interwebs a while back, let's say 8-10 years. And I called the guy that built it, and he told me he'd already sold it. And he goes, but what if I make you one? And I'm like, hell, we're busy at the shop doing Fast and Loud, so what the hell, you know, throw me one together. And that's exactly what he did, but he didn't just throw it together. This car is really about as cool as it gets. Chopped hardscloth top, killer interior. Everything's super clean and sanitary, exactly where it needs to be. It's got a small block built up Chevy high performance motor, pushing one single 4-barrel carburetor. Reliability was the key to this one. I didn't want anything crazy or overpowered or what have you. I wanted to really be able to drive this car. The braking system is really pretty bitchin' because this is reminiscent of a Kinemot braking system, which used to have 3 brake shoes and they would all go out at the same time instead of just 2. This one happens to house inboard disc brakes. So it's got that look, but it's got the comfort and breakability of modern times. Underneath this car is just as beautiful as the exterior. Everything is exactly like it should be on just a nice, period correct 32 Ford Roadster. I couldn't be more happy with this car. I've put a lot of miles on it over the years. It is beautiful inside and out, and it's one of my favorite 32s. Of course, the top comes off in the summer. It's got a really evil bitchin' chop to it, and it looks just really bitchin' going down the road with the top on or with the top off. There's plenty of room in this car. I'm 6'1", and there's more than enough room for me. It is pretty brutal fast for what it is, and I have a good time with this car. And again, it's all because of this lovely lady right here. I said I had to have one, and now it could be yours. So check it out. I got more Fords on the way. I hope nobody takes my lady. So this one here is the epitome of the best built chopped Model A I've seen out there on the road, and that's why I bought it. This car is absolutely killer, top and bottom. It's like automotive jewelry. Now, when I was filming Fast and Loud, one of the guys on the crew that did the sound, he had a buddy of his back in California that spent many years building this car and had decided to put it up for sale. And as soon as I saw the pictures of it, I was like, that is the car. Now, to be perfectly clear, this is not the car that some other two dudes built on some other show. This car is a million times better. This car came out of California. Guy spent many weekends and nights in his own garage building it, and it is perfect in every way. It's powered by a beefed up small block, Offenhauser 4-deuce setup. It's really detailed out. On top of that, this is what they would call a real hot rod in that it has a clutch. So it's got backed up to a 5-speed. This car is as comfortable to drive on a regular road as it is up on high freeway speeds. And this car has a lot of power and a lot of torque. It is a bitchin' little car to drive. And on top of that, when you're out there on the road, it is so loud coming out of this open exhaust that people in front of you are literally scared. Not the people behind you or beside you. The people that are looking in their rearview mirror are freaking out. Like, what is that? It's too cool. I gotta have it. Or, like I've always said, if it doesn't scare women and children, well, it's not any fun. This car right here is detailed to the max. It's a 1931 chop. Look at the interior on this bad boy. Look at the gauges. Look at the little row bar in the back. Now, this is not, I think, what's going to be called a safety bar. I would call this a show bar. But it is cool that it's all chromed and it's in there. On top of that, this car, look at that. Fit and finish on the doors, trunk lids, everything else. I can't find anything that I don't like about this car, except for the fact that I'm giving it away. So this is my last of my early Fords. You got a 31 chop, you got a 32 deuce Roadster, you got a 32.5 window, 32.3 window, 34 Roadster, and 36 Roadster. Those will be your choices. Check it out. Go to GasMonkeyGarage.com. Every dollar you spend is an entry getting into a pool that's going to get one lucky winner a chance to come here with 3 of their friends, party with me, have some pizza, and then pick out the car they want, and I can't say no. I don't know who thought of this, but I hate them.